Jessica, do I hear you? Morning, everyone. Welcome to the Trade Ideas Live Trading Room for the first day of March, Monday, March the 1st. My name is Barry Anderson, moderator of your trading room. Yes and yes, thank you very much. I understand you guys can see me or see my screen and hear me. So we got a nice little move in the SPY right off the bat, guys. So I guess the stimulus bill passed on the weekend, so I guess that's giving a bit of a jump to the SPY right now. Before I keep going, let's talk a little bit about the trade of the week. If you didn't get it, the trade of the week is VUZI. VUZI, considered live at 20, so it's a little, remember this is pre-market, so it's a little bit above the suggested entry. And the stop is the 10-day moving average on the daily chart. So that is VUZI. So again, don't ask me, well, Barry, should I be buying it right now? It's over 20. Completely up to you. All right, this is just a suggested entry. All right, what else is happening? Well, we've got a nice little move in Bitcoin this morning. I can see stocks like Riot, at least they were up. Yes, Riot is still up 10%. Excuse me, Mara, M-A-R-A. So I'm going to probably see a lot of these little Bitcoin, well, these aren't the little ones. These, I guess, are the big ones in terms of stock prices. And of note, SOS, which is a Bitcoin player, but they got slammed. I can't remember which short seller it was. Was it Hindenburg or Street Sweeper? At any rate, they got slammed last week. And typically what happens is that the company comes up with some kind of a refutation. And that's what they've done. Of course, they say it denies the claims by the short sellers, but they're also in the right, they're crypto plays. So probably bouncing regardless. Hindenburg, thank you, Avery. And ALSN. ALSN is a gap up on positive data. Yeah, this is all over the place. I'll be a little wary of it right now. In fact, it's zero. Have I got the right, sorry, this is an earnings play. I wonder if I've got the right symbol. I may not have the right symbol, guys. I'm sorry. Maybe it's ASLN. Let me just do this. Yeah, yeah, I'm sorry. I think I might have typed in the wrong symbol. ASLN. Yeah, okay. Sorry about that. So it's ASLN. Gapping up on positive data. This is not a virus play. Give me a moment here as I make an adjustment and get the right symbol in. ASLN. Oh, I do have the right symbol written down. I just, okay. Wrote it down correctly on the good list and not on the list that I read out to you guys. ASLN, okay. FRSX was gapping up. Is it holding? Nope. Yeah, again, frustrating, but anyway, saw it up here at 926. It is really giving up a lot, though. The EVs look like they're like a lot of stocks, a lot of sectors this morning. Crypto EVs, because look at Plug and Fuel Cell. So Plug is definitely holding the gap. Plug, P-L-U-G, and Fuel Cell, F-C-E-L, both of them are holding the gap. ATNX, make sure I've got that one right, ATNX. This is an earnings play. Big, massive gap down, guys. I don't think it's anything to do with earnings, really. It's they received an FDA response letter, and obviously the response letter was not good. So I don't think this got nothing to do with its earnings as an earnings play. Obviously the response letter was not good, and just has been just absolutely killed this morning. 54% down. Hopefully nobody was in this one. FLDM, this is a virus play, and I think they have been fast-tracked or something. FDA granted emergency use grant for FLDM. This is a virus play. Again, not really holding the gap, though. ECOL. Again, is this up still? Not really. You know, at one point it was up here, 38, and now. You know, I think I've written this one down wrong too. I'm sorry, guys. I could have sworn this was. I think I've written this one down wrong also. WKHS is getting a bit of a hit now. It is an earnings play. Of course, they got hit last week with the news that they did not get that USPS $6 billion contract. I know they're fighting it, but it's also an earnings play today. Yeah, ECOR. Man, sorry, guys. Eyes are obviously a little blurry. I know what it is. My R looked like an L. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's ECOR. There you go. ECOR, not CEOL. And so they gained on a distribution deal with Metastar. Okay, that was their news. Kind of holding. I mean, 371. It's not horrible. I mean, it's still up 35%. Relatively low float. So, you know, it's already traded almost 11 million. This will trade the float easily today. Yeah, thank you. That's okay. XTNT. This is a pretty big gap down, I think. Let's see. I know I've got that symbol correct. I can just XTNT. Just got to type it in. Okay. Yeah, it's a pretty big gap down. Had a big day on Friday, but let's see, it got up to what, 654, closed down here, starting to sink a little bit again. No specific news on it. Hopefully this is the right symbol, APEN. Yes, okay, good. APEN. Big gap up still, 36 million, 36%, sorry. 17 million in the float. It's already traded 2.6 million. Big gap up. And this device, see, FDA gave them some kind of a device designation, okay. FDA breakthrough device designation. So this is a nice gap up so far for APEN. So this is an earnings play. NRG is an earnings play. Nice big gap up for it. Big float, so that's a great move. 232 million in the float. Earnings play up 12%. NRG. You won't see anything from the AI until at least 9:35. Okay, it doesn't. Yeah, I know. No, I'm off my game. You're right. My L's are looking like R's and vice versa in the morning. Now here's one that is up, but I looked at the spread. It's atrocious right now. I have to see what happens when it settles down a bit. MORF. I don't think I've ever seen this one before. Up 25%. It is an earnings play. But when I looked at the spread, yeah, 45, 46, 42. So it's untradeable right now. But let's see what happens when it settles down. It is shortable for me also. So I'm going to have to keep an eye on this. Try to keep an eye on this one anyway. MORF. Perigo is also an earnings play. PRGO. Also an earnings play. Now this looks like it's really coming into resistance. If you look right in this area, look at the daily chart. Lots of activity around 46. But it is an earnings play. Nice gap up. Where are they out of? Ireland. Oh, one of these companies that, yeah, I think to take advantage of tax breaks a while back, a few years ago, switched their headquarters to Ireland. I think anyway. AMTX is a gap up, still kind of gapping up, though we did get up to 1288. Pulled back. I think that what their big news this morning, forecasting something like $1 billion revenue by 2025. So So that's giving that a bit of a pop here. AMTX. And again, this is an all-time high. There's the all-time high, 1101 a few weeks ago. So it's above that. Tiger coming back. At least it was. Let's see if it's still holding that gap. TIGR still coming. Yeah, it's kind of coming back. Of course, this was the one of those China financials that just was on a rippage mode for about a few months, and then over the last few days, like the rest of the market, it's coming back. But now look at it. Maybe we found a bottom for TIGR. And then here's one just as I was opening the room. CRMD just got hammered. Hammered. Look at this complete response letter. Another one of those complete response letters, a CRL from the FDA. Obviously not good. Just got hammered. Now, why would you, Luca? Why would you activate the demo account, IB demo account? What you want to do, you're trying to use the simulator, right? You're not wanting to trade your account. Use our simulator. Okay, just click on sim. Like don't use the IB demo account. A lot easier to use the sim. Just okay. And I think somebody asked me earlier how to all you have to do is somebody asked me something about the simulation, how to activate it. Just click on sim. There's the Brokerage Plus, and just click on sim, and now you're in simulation mode. Okay. Okay, now just going to take a quick look to see what sort of upgrades and downgrades we have this morning. And let's see, we definitely have more upgrades than downgrades. I'll get a few of them in. This is from briefing.com. Just a few more to go. All right, there are some of the upgrades. I'll get the downgrades in now. Interesting. I see a downgrade for CNK. Let me take a look at that one. Just a couple more to go on the downgrades. All right, there you have some of the downgrades, upgrades from briefing.com this morning. Okay, so Luca, can you not hear me? Okay, my suggestion is don't use the IB demo account. Okay, use our simulator. I think what you're trying to do is you want to basically paper trade before you actually connect to a live account. Use our simulator. And also, you will see no trades, no alerts for the AI until at least 9:35. But can you hear me? Can you hear me, Luca? Guys, when you ask me a question, it really helps for me to know if you can hear me. Okay, so because I answered that before. Okay, so use the simulator. Don't use don't connect to IB demo. Okay, use our simulator. If you want to practice trading, use our simulator. You use our real-time data. It's way easier. Okay. And again, no, the AI does not trigger anything until at least 9:35. Doesn't mean you'll get anything at 9:35. But you certainly won't get anything before. All right, guys, let's see, 9:20. So if you want to follow my watch list up and down right here, you can click on new channel bar, and then my watch list is right here, Barry's watch list. And remember, everything in the channel bar is a layout. So before you do that, make sure you do save your layout to the cloud. Why? You can only have one layout loaded at a time. Just to let you know, nothing will happen in these two windows until at least 9:45. That's on purpose. You will start to see some alerts probably right at 9:30 in this window here, though. But in the watch list up and down, the two littler ones, and that's on purpose. I typically do not like to trade in the first 15 minutes. I like to see things settle down just a little bit. STSA, for some reason I didn't have that. This is also active right now. Let's take a look, 750. So this has got a lot of room actually. Yeah, keep an eye on this one for sure. I'm going to stick an alert, STSA. I'm going to stick an alert around 755. See if it takes that out later on. Just look left on that weekly chart and the amount of room it has. So it surges on migraine treatment development plan update, and also rise after raising $80 million private placement. Okay. Well, Luca, why would you leave both active? Okay, if you want to see how it works, use our simulator. And like don't confuse the issue by having also your paper trading in IB and your paper trading use our simulator. Just use our simulator. Don't try to confuse it or confuse the issue. You want to see how it works? I mean, that's use our simulator. I mean, it's using our real-time data. Okay, guys, so due to popular demand, just a moment, please. Okay, so due to popular demand, I actually created a shared layout, okay, and it's basically what you see here, not the actives up and down. So if you want my layout that you typically see, I did create it. Okay, so Sunny. Here's called my you know what? Let's see what happens here. Okay, good. You didn't run into it. So if you're looking for my shared layout, basically what you see here, except for these two windows here, the actives, I created it over the weekend, so have at it. And of course, all the other scans I'm sharing, though, you still access from my home page. And we've got Rocket on the move, RKT, a little bit on the move here. This was an earnings play on the 25th. It had an interesting reaction. Got up to 23.60, sold down to 21. Let's see if Mara and Riot are holding their gaps. Yeah, well, not, let's see, here's the high for Mara 35. Not terrible. I mean, it's down about $1.50, but not terrible. Let's just see if they can really hold their gaps out today, or are they just going to fade? SPY is still very positive right now. It is not trying to fill in the lower end here. So let's take a look here. I mean, 385. There's 378 was the low on Friday. The big sell-off. Well, unfortunately, guys, the VUZI has exploded. I shouldn't say exploded. I shouldn't say, sorry. If you did take it, you know, in the pre-market, this is the trade of the week. Now let's see if it pulls back, though. The suggested entry was $20, so I mean, you had a chance to get it in the pre-market, but they just did announce some news. M400 and M4000 smart glasses now support Microsoft Teams. Oh, I see. Okay, so that's the news for VUZI. GSM, whoops. Yeah, I guess I didn't see it earlier because now it is an earnings play, so that's interesting. There was no volume, so it didn't pass my filters. So no volume yet, but you know what? I mean, if this gets over, you know, that 410 mark, you look left. I mean, it's got a shot to the 450, I guess. And then after that, I mean, it's got a ton of room, but it is an earnings play, just no volume yet. That doesn't, and it's not a super low float. I don't know what that one is. It doesn't TSNPD. Make sure right. Okay, now it is loading in Interactive Brokers. It wasn't earlier. So I don't know what, it looks like it just started trading as that symbol, yes. You'd be surprised how many people use MS Teams. It's also a pink sheet stock. Maybe that's another reason why I didn't see it. So it looks like this is a pink sheet stock. Anyway. GSAT, let's see, what about GSAT here? Market's going to open in less than a minute, guys. Let's have a great start to this trading week. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of pretty good volume, up 8%. You know, I mean, what did it do last month? 297. That was here. You know, I mean, I guess if it gets over 2, it might have a pop or a shot to try to fill in this void. All right, just want to close these two down and get set for the open. And let's see what happens with my moving higher with unusually strong options. Let's see. With the market doing what it's doing, we should get probably a few more alerts than we had on Friday. I think we only had the one alert. All right, guys, we are now open. And as I say, I typically do not trade in the first 15 minutes. And let's see if we just start getting some fades. Fades from these ones that were popping in the pre-market. Right now, ECOR is fading, ECOR. So far, the market open is still positive. It has not given up anything. Look at this. Look at that market open right there. So never mind these bottoming tails. Usually they mean nothing. Aja, good morning. All right, so Vuzi after that big pop, it did pull back. All right, I did see this one pre-market. It can only go over, a limited number, but I did see this one, this PLXP. But then as I was trying to get it in, okay, guys. I mean, I know a lot of you following GameStop, so GME just took a big pop here. GME just took a big pop. You want to trade it? You're on your own. I may trade it in and out. I'm certainly not. But you're on your own in these, okay? GME, but it did take a big pop. So anyway, this is what I was saying. As I was going to put this one as one of the ones to watch, it started to do this, okay? I saw the pop up and then it just started, so I disregarded it. I mean, it's still up 26%. It's a low float, 13 million in the float. And I'm talking about PLXP. You can see that if it gets back over, this is an all-time high, I think. If it gets back over 10, this could have a run in it. I mean, it did pop up to craziness, 18, but that was very short-lived. Okay, so CRMD is trying to come back from their the response letter that they received from the FDA, trying to come back somewhat. Trade of the week is VUZI. VUZI, the suggested entry was 20. It's probably still above that. Well, that's not bad. I mean, it did have a pop. They had some news this morning. And so, I mean, listen, please don't ask me, okay, Barry, it's close to the 20. Should I trade this? It's up to you, okay? And I'm not talking specifically to you, Ogun. All right, so let's see. Just waiting to see when we get our first one here. We'll probably get more, as long as the market keeps doing this, we should get more today. I think I did put a delay of 10 minutes on it. Let me just see. Oh, I don't have the delay. Okay. That's fine, and I'll give him the same answer, JB. Interesting. Not that active in the basic new highs yet. Gonna make sure that's the right one. Yeah. Well, the market's very strong. Look at the markets. I mean, they're open right now, up 500, SPY's up 59. And the big news, really, probably more than anything, is look at tech. Maybe a nice rebound in tech. You know, tech has been really dragging the market down. So there are the Qs. So a nice move on the Qs. So Overstock, yeah, or it's not Overstock, OTRK, just getting absolutely lamb-basted. Now this, be careful, okay? And if those of you with our premium service probably know why I'm talking about it, but be awfully careful. 7.4 million shares in the float for a $32 stock is really, really low. So just be really, really careful. And now PLXP just got halted on the way down. Okay, now give me a moment here, please. Yeah, again, I mean, I'm looking at the AI alert for MORF. You have to watch that spread, guys. It's almost untradeable unless, you know, tax on $10, it won't matter. But you've just got to watch that spread. I'm talking MORF. I don't know about a squeeze. I have no idea. I actually went to FinViz to see if we had any float information. Don't see any float information from FinViz or a short float percent. Look, I mean, it's in the right sector today. As long as I think Mara, let's take it. Well, actually, they're starting to drift a bit. But of course, you know, they got hammered by Hindenburg last week. One of the short selling group got hammered by Hindenburg last week. But they've come out with a letter countering all the claims that Hindenburg has made. So that is probably, well, not probably, I'm sure that's the reason for the pop. Also, it is a crypto play. So GBTC, let's take a look at GBTC. Yeah, so there's a crypto ETF. Yeah, so Luca, well, okay, what you should do is from our toolbar, click on New and then AI/Holly Strategy Trades window, okay, from the toolbar. Then you will see, here are the 2 alerts so far today, okay? So just from our toolbar, click on New and then AI/Holly Strategy Trades window. And then you can incorporate this window as part of your layout. So you don't have to load it every morning, okay? You're not going to see them in the simulator. You know, they don't appear in the simulator. Simulator is I mean, if you activated all of the AI alerts, but again, I don't know what you're trying to do exactly. If you just want to follow, you know, you just want to follow the AI alerts as they happen, then you have this window open, and then you can trade them. You see how the symbol loads here? If you want to trade them in the simulator, go ahead. So again, guys, I mean, this could be a massive winner. You just had to handle the spread. I mean, there it is, 46.50, 51.70. I mean, it's a huge move. You just had to be able to handle the spread, though. You know, what I'm talking about is, I mean, right now the spread is 51.68, 52. Well, it can be up to $1 to $1.50. So it's, you know, a little bit dicey, but there's no question that this is just a huge move now. Okay, so this is interesting. So this is showing up on the unusually like the strong options, but it is a big gap down. Typically, I'm not sure that this is maybe. I mean, then you're having to bank on the fact that this is going to recover a little bit. There's a part of me that, you know, on the unusually strong options, I want to see the stock up as opposed to, you know, like a huge gap down and a recovery. We'll see what happens here. So what's the pre-market high? Yeah, so it's moving. I mean, the pre-market high is what? Put 879 or so. $850. So the pre-market high is $850. So I mean, it's got some room, but you know, you're kind of banking on the fact that this is going to have a bit of a recovery after being just absolutely slammed. And this was a result of an FDA response letter. Yeah, see, I'm going to get out of this one. I'm going to flatten it immediately. So what happened here, I have this in auto, this is in the simulator. I had this in auto trade mode. It took the trade. But again, you know, I should have probably got out almost immediately. I don't like the fact that this was down so much and we're trying to see if it can recover. Now, later on, if it gets back up over 615, there's a possibility I would get into that trade. Yeah, I mean, this morph is awesome, guys. If you could have handled the spread, I mean, you know, there's the alert 46.50. It's right here, 54.53. It's up 17%, 19% now. If you could handle the spread. So here's another one that is trying to come back, CRMD, after being hammered down, 32% still down. CRMD is trying to come back. Oh man, this is really coming back. CRMD. So contrast that with the ATNX. I'm definitely going to keep an eye on the ATNX. If it tries to get over 615 again, I may take it again in the simulator and in my real account. Yeah, I would say that trying to get a fill, if you're auto trading, even if you're practicing auto trading with the AI, probably would not have got a fill because of the spread. But, if you were doing it manually, you would have had to just sort of close your eyes and take the trade, not too many shares, and don't worry about the spread too much. I mean, obviously, that spread didn't matter, but you just don't know ahead of time. Okay, I'm just checking some of my, okay, keep an eye on AMTX, AMTX. Definitely keep an eye. This is an all-time high. We don't count the pre-market, so there it was 1288 pre-market high, and unveils a 5-year plan targeting $1 billion revenue by 2025. So it's a pretty, I don't want to say a pumping press release, but obviously an eye-catching press release, shall we say. So I'm just going to put an alert at 1212 over AMTX, over that whole number again. It's a low float. Well, again, guys, I mean, this is sensational. If you just disregarded the spread, if you were trying to auto trade this, you probably could not have got it because your limit offset, it would have had to been about $1. So, but even more. But I mean, look at this, 46.50, 62. Now this is shortable also for me at Interactive Brokers. Not that I'm looking to short it right now, but all right, guys, so I'm going to make this announcement right now. I'll be making this announcement probably for a few times this week. The growth in trade ideas has been phenomenal this year as a company, and we've already hired a couple of people for support, and they came from the room. Well, they had been definitely participants in this trading room. So we're looking for a couple of more. So if you have got probably at least 3 years experience with using trade ideas, and maybe you're more of a swing trader, you're not glued to a computer all day long, and you would like to apply for a support position with trade ideas, I'm just going to put, you can send it to Andy at trade-ideas.com. Send an email. And ideally, probably at least 3 years of experience using trade ideas. Some Brokerage Plus experience would also be handy. Yeah, I mean, we just, we're somewhat overwhelmed. I don't know what else to say. So we need a couple of more support people. Go ahead, seriously, the Dreamer. I'm serious. If you're interested, for sure. No, like Real can't do it because he's an active trader. You cannot be an active trader, okay? Because this is a full-time support position. As I say, we hired a couple of people from this trading room. All right, so I'll be talking about that probably all week. What a move by this morph. Man, it's just too bad, and it just got halted. It's just too bad that the spread was too bad. I would have taken this one, but I looked at that spread and I just couldn't do it. But, this is a situation in which, or a case in which the spread didn't matter. But you've got to be so careful because look at that float, 15 million in the float. Anything could have happened. In this case, anything could have happened, and it did on the huge upside. Okay, just one moment, please. Give me one moment, about a minute. I'll be right back in about a minute. All right. Keep an eye on that AMTX, guys. AMTX, as in xylophone. This breaks over. I mean, look at this. I mean, it hit 12.12 a couple of times, right? 12.10 and 12.12. So takes out that 12 again. Pre-market high was 12.93. It's an all-time high. It did have some news. Well, there we go. Sugar. Well, let's see if it holds here. Okay, it just pulled back a little bit. Bit of a spread issue. 1208, 1216. Okay, so there's that big drop now. 64 down to 59 so far for MORF. And Chris is one of the, that's you, right, Chris? Chris M. Okay. Yeah, so yeah, the dreamer, seriously. You've been a great asset in the room, answering questions about B plus and more. It'd be great to have you part of the team. So just send the information to Andy at trade-ideas.com. Tell him you're interested, and then he'll get in contact with you, okay? No, no more. You can add the float column to any window. Yes, just right click, configure, you search on float. Okay, just search on float, and here are the two that you've got, short float, and then you see where it says show column. Just click on show column. So you can either add it as a filter or you can add it as a column. Short float and the short float. Well, there's the float and then there's the short float percent. All you have to do is just click on the show column. So again, right click on a window, configure. You can type it in so it pops up, and then highlight it and then show column, okay? So that was wild and woolly. I mean, so it got halted, it got down, dropped about $5 or so, and popped right back up for MORF. Now, Rocket on the move, RKT on the move here. An interesting day on Friday. This was an earnings play, I believe, February 25th. So it was an earnings play. What was that day? And it was post-market. So that means the reaction would have been on the 26th. Yeah, so the reaction was on Friday. So it gapped way up, and then it pulled back down. And now it's above the highs of Friday. And that's RKT. All right, guys, AMTX on the move here now. Maybe that big bottoming tail will help. You know, the sellers tried to knock it down, but the buyers look like they're in control right now. And there's the pre-market highs, way up here at 1290. All right, so I have not given up on ATNX. I just want to put my alert up here, 615. That was the high. See if it can have any sort of recovery. Interesting, not that active in the basic new highs, even though the market is really moving higher here. This usually is full by this time. So this is an interesting one. Zcan, it's been, you know, last 3 days, like the rest of the market, but now it's above Friday's high, 737. What looks like, at least it was briefly above it. 732 looks like the high of Friday, so it's just slightly, it's right there. AMTX guys on the move. In an area, noted, wow, look at this one, 1958. So this is from my watch list. 1958 was the alert, got up to 2036. What did Weight Watchers do? 3015. This is not bad. I mean, I know it made my watch list just in case it could really break out of this area here. It's right there. I mean, look at the high right there is 3017, and the high right there is 3040. We're at 3026 right now. If it can see its way through those levels, I mean, it's got a shot to the 33 level. I'm not saying it's going to get there, but AMTX guys on the move. Too bad this is not. Check to see if this even trades. Yeah, see, it does trade options, but the volume is so low. That's why it's not making that filter. AMTX guys, great move. And look what it did. It almost got to the pre-market high right there. It's an all-time high though, AMTX. This could have, you know, a multi-day move now. You know, what did it get down to? I mean, look at these moves. Last week it was down to 662. That was probably, no, that wasn't on Friday, but beginning of the week down to 662. We're almost a double. All right, I think I can declare AMTX a certified winner, guys, from my watch list. 1228, almost tacked on $1. In fact, it did at one point. AMTX. In fact, let's take a look to see what happened from the alert. 661, another big winner. 661, got up to 727. Quick, 1005. It's at 1022, so it's a little bit above. E-Core 298, got up to 329. Weight Watchers, well, so far so good. Every one of them. I mean, I don't expect every single one of them. 12. This is a huge winner from the watch list. Huge. 1228, 1380 right now. An area, let's say 1958, and even this. So the watch list is really, you know, performed this morning. Wow, look at AMTX, guys. 1228, 1412 now. I don't tell you to take anything, all right? I mean, it's got to meet your trading plan. But you heard me talk about it. You heard me say, let's see if it can get back over 12 again. They had a very promotional press release forecasting revenues of $1 billion by 2025. That was this morning. Oh man. Okay, guys. Well. So how is the trade of the week doing? Let's take a look. VUZI, trade of the week. Okay, lots of, well, opportunities to get in it if you want to. The trigger was 20. You did have some news this morning. And it had that big pop pre-market, actually. That was, what time was that? 9:15, yeah. So that was a pre-market. It's down. Okay, I see it's up 9%, but okay. AMTX, guys, wow. Too bad this wasn't an option play because, well, look at it now, though. It may show up, but it'll be pretty late. Remember when I just looked about, what, 2 minutes ago? The option volume was about 800, and now it's 4,500 contracts. Remember now, the trades of the week are meant for, you know, you trade it the way you want to, but I mean, they are meant for longer term holds. All right, guys. So now Ecor, ECOR on the move also now. ECOR, the pre-market high was around 367. Okay, so Ramin, very quickly, if you give me the name like of a toy manufacturer as an example, or a symbol. Like Mattel. Let's take a look at Mattel. M-A-T. Okay. Now, doll and stuffed toy manufacturing. Okay. So if you click on the similar tab, these are stocks. Now you might see some crazy ones in here. I really think we have to, shore this up. I mean, why is DoorDash or Masonite? Really need some work on this competitor. Okay. But that would be the theory, that if you typed in something that is in like Mattel and you clicked on the similar, this would be supposed to be similar stocks, but I'm not really seeing that here. So again, the news on it, such as it is, it's just that they said, hey, by 2025, we look like we're going to have $1 billion in revenue. So that was the news for AMTX. Give me a moment, please. So yes, so Ramin, so that is the theory, okay? So if you click on, the question was, how would I find, for example, toy manufacturing, okay? I want to see stocks that are in a similar sector. Problem is, when I typed in Mattel, I got a bunch of stocks that obviously are nothing to do, with toy manufacturing. I mean, there's Yeti, sporting and athletic goods, okay? But that would be the theory. You click on similar. What I do is then I duplicate that window. That's why I see this window here. So, in fact, I'm in a development meeting, our monthly development meeting today. I'm going to bring that up again. Yeah, that would be what you call guidance, yes. Very promotional guidance, but you know what? The market looked at that, traders looked at that, and said, okay, we're in. Just like we did, hopefully a lot of you in the room. Wow. Oh my goodness. Well, sometimes you just need sometimes one good trade a day, guys, and you got that alert. So again, this is not a room in which I'm going to tell you to buy anything. What I said was I was very interested in this one. If it got back over 12, look at that pullback. It popped over, it popped at 12 right here. That's why we got the alert. What was the alert? The original alert was at 1228. It dipped down below. I said, listen, if it can take that area out again, this could be a really great trade. Well, I didn't great trade. I had no idea it was going to do this, but that was going to get me interested in it. And so I'm not telling you to buy anything. Well, it's from my watch list. Yeah, I'm going to go, what time is it now? 10, 11? Give me about 10 minutes, Ogun. I'll go over a lot of that. You can put a target in if you want. Yeah, this was part of my watch list. You know, look, it also appeared here, but late. I wonder why so late. AMTX 1451. Check this out. I don't know why this is so late. Percent. Might have been the number of alerts, but no, I don't. I don't know why this was so late. To me, this should have appeared earlier, even in just the basic new highs. Well, it's just, some of the pre-market work I do, Bruce. I mean, do I remember? I mean, again, here are my, if you click on my home page and click on my home page tab or link, these, and go to my scan section, okay? These are the 4 I use. Gap up, gap down, pre-market active, up and down. These are the 4 that I use in the pre-market. So, got to do the work. And that one was showing up. It also made my watch list anyway because of what it did on Friday. All right. I mean, look at the move it made on Friday. So this was on my watch list regardless. I'm sorry, not AMCX. Well, this one would have been. No. AMTX. Let me see. Let's see if it made my watch list on Friday. Yeah. I can't remember if it actually made my watch list on the scanning I did over the weekend. My homepage, if in the room, I guess you have to scroll up. Just find my homepage tab. Okay, there's my homepage tab. It's called Barry's homepage. And then click on the link. When you do that, this is what you'll see. Okay, I'm going to go over this. Just give me a moment, okay? I'm going to go over this in about 10 minutes. There's a lot of information on my homepage. Well, no, guys, I mean, people are asking me, AMTX was in my watch list, okay? So there's the alert, 1228. All right, guys, so kind of watching a couple of my thumbnail charts, see if anything is happening. Oh yeah, I mean this there's a big pullback, $69 down to 57, 56. So there's a big $12 pullback, sorry, and now it's trying to pop again. What's the spread? Has the spread really settled down? Yeah, I mean it's under $1. So you mentioned Siri earlier. Such a big float. I usually don't trade. Yeah, it's got a big float. I don't know. I mean, I see a lot of resistance. I mean, not that far away. It's had a nice day, but I don't see anything that's going to get me into this trade. The only one you should see, James, is ATNX. All right, guys, I'm just trying to keep an eye on one of the AI alerts. Again, I'm going to go over a lot of this in about 10 minutes. I keep saying 10 minutes, but I do mean it. All right, so WKHS has bounced back, but oh man, it's a tough one though. Look at these bottoming tails and topping tails in the 15-minute chart, all over the place. Not easy. I'm actually surprised not as many not too many alerts coming through with the options. Now keep an eye on the ATNX. If it can take out this area right up there at the 615 or 6, I think there's the high right there. It might be in mini rebound mode. I mean, it just got hammered this morning on news. Okay, here's another one that's starting to show up. ITI, however, look left. What do we see? 721 or so. 720 is the next high looking left on that daily chart. And then there's 750. So there might be a little bit of resistance right here and then here. So it's not clean. Not clean anyway, I don't think. ITI rejects offer, unanimously rejected offer by an unsolicited bid, I guess, on their company. Yeah, I just don't see a lot of room though. Okay, what's the market doing? Market is still strong. There's not been one red candle on this 15-minute. Bit of a bottoming tail there. That might have, don't know if that is for real, but anyway, look at this 15-minute straight up 600. So the stimulus bill passed on the weekend, so I guess that's the main reason. But more importantly, I look at the tech sector is having a nice bounce. The Qs are nice bounce. Yeah, it's got room on a monthly chart. You're right, but you know, is it going to? I mean, that's a big if. I'm waiting on that one AI alert. The one that starts with the letter C. See if it can really break out. So this was on my watch list as a potential long SLCA. You can see why. Look at the move it had on Friday, but it is starting to gap down a little bit here. I expanded my range maybe. I reserve the right to do that. Not showing up in the positions tab. And you've clicked on the simulator. Just give me a moment here, please. Well, I would have no explanation. If it says it's filled in the order section 100%, like that, market filled, and it's not showing up in positions, I don't have an explanation. It makes no sense to me. It makes it hard to flatten, yes. It doesn't make any sense to me. If it says it's filled in the orders and it's not showing up in positions, Well, the dreamer, if you're going to be in support, what's your answer to that one? And then you're hired. All right, guys. Well, as promised, is now just around 10:30. So first of all, big welcome. If you're brand new to the trading room, welcome to the room. This is the format, Monday to Friday, between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. Eastern Time. I share my screen live on the mic. I'm just trying to keep an eye on that one alert from the AI as it kind of flirts with that whole number. All right, I am sharing a lot of information. If you can find my homepage, all you have to do, Barry's homepage, there's a tab within this trading room, what I call the main trading room. I'm going to put the link in our YouTube room also. Just a minute. Just give me one moment here as I put the link into the YouTube room. Okay, so, and I'm just wanting to watch this, that one that starts with the letter C from the AI. I'm being a little cryptic because not fair for those of you who pay for the AI. If I'm just going to show them as they appear. I don't mind showing after the fact, you know, if it's made a big move, just to show you what the AI can do. Kind of like I did with the MORF, which I did not take. So if you click on my homepage, you'll be brought to this screen right there. All right, so if you want, and so a lot of information here. So if you want to take out a subscription to Trade Ideas, you can use this promo code Barry4Alpha for 15% off the first month only, or the entire year. Take note of what I said, the first month only. And I'm going to show you how much Trade Ideas does cost. We have 4 plans. We have an annual and a monthly for premium and standard. Let's take a look at the annual for our premium service. $22.68 a year minus that 15%. And the standard is $10.68 a year minus the 15%. The big difference between standard and premium is the AI. And this is what I'm talking about right here. This is what you would see. I'm going to go over it in a little more detail a little bit later. But that's the main reason why people take our premium service. There are some other differences, but the main reason is they want access to the AI. You don't have to take an annual plan. If you want to go month to month, that's fine. This is how much it would cost. $118 for the standard, $228 for the premium. You can apply the discount to the first month only. After that, it will go to these 2 regular prices, okay? More information from my homepage. You can sign up for the Trade of the Week. It gets sent to you before the market opens every Monday morning. The Trade of the Week this week is VUZI. I think it's a little bit above the trigger price of 20. I do a recap. You can sign up for the recaps right there. All the scans that I'm sharing right here, okay? This is my favorite. Only producing one right now. One alert right now. I'm sure that we'll have more, especially with the market doing what it's doing. But hey, we have to wait and see. I get the question a lot. What do I do in the pre-market? I use these four: gap up and down shared, pre-market actives up and down. Okay, I use these four to do my pre-market work. A lot of education from this section right here. Click here. And if you're brand new to trade ideas, before you do anything else, I would really recommend that you take a look at the 20 short lessons. No, 10 charts. 10 charts. It limits you to 10 charts. These are charts. You can have as many scans as you want. It's 10 charts. Premium allows you 20 charts. So don't you know, that's not a scan window. It's 10 charts. Okay, so the 20 short lessons, if you click on that link, this is what you're going to see. So literally taking you right from the beginning, downloading what the channel bar is all about, what is a top list, building one, alert window, creating one, all of the basic features I think, very simply explained right here. So if you're new to trade ideas, please take a look at this before you do anything else. I think it'll save you a lot of time. Also, if you don't have trade ideas, of course you can take a look at this and you can see what some of the standard features we have. All right, so now a little explanation of what trade ideas is. Oh, here we go. Just give me a moment here. I see this just showed up. Now, see, I look left. I don't like it. See, look, to me, there's a little bit of, so I'm just going to exit this immediately. Okay, I don't like it, even though it showed up on my options. But when I look left, there's some resistance right around here, maybe at 217, you know, even in this area here. So I don't like it. So just because it showed up in my options plays doesn't mean I have to take it, of course. It took it in the simulator. But then I made a very quick decision that I didn't like it just because of all that resistance. What I'm looking for when I get an alert like that is something that would look more like this, okay, with a big void to fill. All right, now I didn't like this one because it was down for the day. You know, but that's kind of what I'm looking for, though. Room for a stock to move. I did not see that with the ESGC. Just look left. I mean, it's just a mess. Look in the weekly, messy. Okay. Now listen, it could rip later on. You know, I would have to take out that 240. But right now, it's nothing I would really want to get into. So, first of all, just want to tell you what trade idea. We're a scanner. We're scanning software, all right? It doesn't matter who your broker is, you can use trade ideas. I want to emphasize that. We're scanning software first and foremost. What you see here is a scan I built, something I call basic new highs and lows, and I'm sharing a lot of scans. So in this particular scan, you know, I created these filters. I said, okay, I'd like to see stocks between 1 and 20. Current volume is at least 4, which means it's trading at least 4 times normal. 400,000 shares. It doesn't really matter what filters I'm using. I'm just trying to explain how you set up your own type of scan. You start off with the filters, and then if in this particular situation, if I get a new high or a new low, I get a real-time alert. That's why I see these stocks right here. Like Ecor is just ripping here. Right at almost at the pre-market high. So what we did as a company is that instead of forcing you to learn a programming language, we said, okay, most people do not want to learn a programming language. So we created a lot of alerts and filters. These are all the alerts. And when you change it to this icon right down here, these are the filters. So typically you start off with the filters, so you kind of, whittle the universe of stocks down to a manageable number. Create a price range, maybe an average, minimum volume, things like that. And so what we did was, I think for about, I always want to up this percentage, probably for about 98% of you, the number of alerts and filters that we created will allow you to create the looks that you want. Okay? And that's how you can create your own scans. Now I'm sharing a lot of scans. Especially if you're brand new, it might be a little overwhelming. So you can always take my scans to start off with. You can always adjust them, as I was saying before, here's the range that I like. Here's my price range of 1 to 20. If you don't like it, you want to change it to another price range, you just go in and make the changes right there. And then you just say okay, and then so you can customize. So this is what I like to see, but you may have a different idea. Okay, so I'm going to keep waiting on this one, see if it breaks out. So that's what Trade Ideas is, okay? We're a scanner. So you can use us with any brokerage platform. You get an alert. At the very worst, and I'm going to explain what I mean by that, you type the symbol into your brokerage platform and then you trade it from within your brokerage platform. Now I want to go over the AI before I start talking about Brokerage Plus and linking and all of that. So the AI works like this. When the market closes, the AI gets to work on an optimization program. And I think we have about 50 of what we call baseline strategies that the AI gets to work with an optimization program. So that's what happened Friday afternoon. Of the 50, these are the strategies that made the cut. Okay, now I wouldn't concern yourself too much about, in my opinion anyway, who cares about the names of what they're looking for, the segments? In my opinion, all you should really care about is what are the alerts that I'm going to get from these ones today. To do that, click on New, and then AI/Holly Strategy Trades window. And this is what you'll see. Okay, look at this one. I mean, look at the MORF, 46.50 on the alert, $68 now. Now, are they all like that every single day? Of course not, but this is an extraordinary one. But this is what you would see. You get an entry price, you have a stop, and then it's up to you to manage them. Okay? There's no video on how to use the AI. People will use it in many different ways. But know this: you have an entry. You don't have to get in right at the penny, and you have a stop. And how you manage these trades will be up to you. And what I would do is then I'd say I would load this window, New, AI/Holly Strategy Trades window. And this is what will pop up. And then you can incorporate this window as part of your layout so you don't have to do it every day. Okay? So David, how to add volume bars. This is part of, if you right click and indicators, and one of them would be volume. Okay, volume, just click on that and then tell where you want. Do you want a new chart area? Therefore, it would make a new. It would not appear within your main chart. Okay, so just click on new chart area. So that's in the indicators. Right click, indicators, and again find volume, and then you can, assign a color to it, etc. Yeah, it's a dollar spread, but you know, as I said earlier when we first saw it, I saw this in the pre-market. We saw all this in the pre-market, of course, because it had a massive gap up. And that's what, you know, kind of turned me off it. But I said, you know, if it, I jokingly said, but if it moves $3 or $4, that dollar spread won't matter. Well, look what it did. Now, we didn't know this ahead of time. Okay, now I want to talk about this window that you see right here. That is called Brokerage Plus. This is only available if you're using our app, okay, our downloadable application. If you're using our web-based version, it's not available. And this is what we call Brokerage Plus. I'm going to pop a video in, or a link to a video, and disregard E-Trade and TDA in that video. We're hoping maybe E-Trade fairly soon, but I don't ask me when, please. I just don't know. If you happen to have an Interactive Brokers account, you can then use this window that we call Brokerage Plus to trade your Interactive Brokers account. You have to connect. You see it says live. Watch the video. It's going to show you how to do all that. Okay. And then once you're connected live, then you can trade your account. You can trade your Interactive Brokers account using this window. So why would you want to be able to do that? Again, not mandatory. You don't have to. It's a nice feature. This window is, I think, more aesthetically pleasing than from within Interactive Brokers. That's number one. But if that were the only reason, it wouldn't be that big a deal. I think one of the main reasons would be this, though. Let's just say I take a look at AERI, A-E-R-I. I look at it and say, yeah, you know, I want to trade this. I go back, right click, and you see how I hover over this trade. Notice I've got these buying and shorting options that I can pick from. And watching that video shows you how you can set up your own. So this is what we call one-click trading. So again, you click on the alert. If you like what you see, you want to trade it, you pick how you want to trade it. You've already done this ahead of time. You click, and now you're trading it. Okay? Yeah, that's it, Luke. I would put 0.001 on both the min and then minus 0.001 on the max, okay? And that'll get rid of all the ETFs. Okay, so that is a reason why, you know, it's nice to be able to use this, because you can set up, again, your own buying. You can set up the buying and shorting buttons right on the chart, okay? And again, you have to watch that video. I don't go into it in any great detail. The video has basically all of it covered. Now, the other main reason to use this window, especially if you're starting out new, or even if you're, you know, what I'll call an experienced trader, but you'd like to test a strategy, but you can use this in simulation mode. That's what I have right here in simulation mode, paper trading mode, whatever you want to call it. So I can't emphasize this more. If you're new to trading, please practice trading first before you commit money to the market. Also, we get this question a lot. I want to auto trade the AI. Before you do that, all right, you can practice, see how it would work if you wanted to auto trade the AI. Okay, you put it on simulation, you click on the AI tab, you can turn all the strategies on and see how that works. Before I would commit money to the market, I would auto trade the AI here, you know, just to see how it works. Okay. So you can't, okay, I had a question. You can't search a symbol. You have to know the symbol. So I left clicked and I just typed it in. I can't search on the cues. Okay, I just knew the cues, and then I click change or enter on my keyboard. Okay. Well, I mean, it's obviously it's an AI alert. JV. Yeah, it's marginally outside my price range, but you know, it's got some room, so I'm definitely interested in it. Okay, now, again, I can emphasize more. Practice trading first, okay? Just a minute, please. My headset died. Just a minute. I'll be right back. Yeah, just give me a moment, please. I just have to change my headset. All right, I'm back. All right, so again, talking about Brokerage Plus and practicing trading. So here's how easy it is to do. Now, first of all, just so you know, it uses, when you're practicing, it's using our real-time data. So it has no bearing on who your broker is. All right, doesn't matter. It uses our real-time data. So you click on an alert and the symbol shows up right there. You can pick how many shares you want to trade. You can pick the price you want to get in at. Okay. But what I want to show you, because a lot of people like to do, I'll call them pullback trades. You know, you don't want to take it at the high. So let's just see if I can find one that might make a little bit of sense. Again, I'm just trying to demonstrate what you can do. Okay, let's just say, now this is getting close. I just want to show you how you can do this. So let's just say you wanted to take Rocket down here, RKT. You know, it looks like on the 5-minute chart, if it pulled back here, maybe that'll hold and it would bounce. Okay, I'm not saying this is what I would do. I'm just showing you how you can do this. All right, let's make it a little bit lower, okay? Let's say you wanted to take RKT down at 23.64 on a pullback. So you pick how many shares you want. Let's pick 300 shares. What did I say? I said 23, say 23.60. You type 23.60. $23.60 in both boxes, $23.60. Click on the buy button and you will see a blue line that appears. Good grief, look at this. So now it's showing up. Pretty hard to chase it right now though, the AMTX. Wow. Okay, where was I? There was a Rocket, RKT. People ask why I don't trade more. Well, you can see why. A lot of distractions. Cannot concentrate 100% on trading. But again, that's okay. It's the nature of the job. I do enough to satisfy me. How's that? Give me one moment, please. Okay, so want to get back to the RKT. So notice that there is a blue line that is showing up right on the chart. So if Rocket RKT got down to 2360, it would take this trade. Okay, so that's how you can put a conditional buy order, maybe on a pullback. You like an area that it pulled back to, you could take the trade. You could also done it, of course, above the current price. If you thought if it took out an area above the price that it broke through maybe a resistance area, that you'd like to take the price there. So it's just a matter of, you can use it as a pullback, conditional pullback, or maybe breaking higher through a resistance area. You would just type those two prices above the current price in that market. If you click buy, you would see then a nice big blue line above the price. Yeah, so novice, the issue probably, the MORF is really, I don't know how many people could have gotten MORF, M-O-R-F, auto trading it. Okay, I really don't know, because it depends on the limit offset that you were using. That moved very quickly. The spread was pretty tough. So I'm not going to say that, but if you would, I don't believe in auto trading the AI. It's that simple. If you could have got somehow anywhere close to that 46.50, I don't think you could have though. But, I like to use it as a watch list, so you could have traded that manually. Okay. So it's hard for me to know if, that's a spectacular number, of course. The moderate profit, 57%, but that a lot of it is based on could you've got MORF. You could have got MORF, certainly trading it manually. You would have still had to deal with the spread, but if you said, hey, listen, I can deal with the spread, but in terms of auto trade mode, I have no idea. I don't think so. Yeah, so you can. So let me now go a little bit deeper into this. Okay, like the RKT I talked about as a pullback trade to a certain level. But let's just take a trade right now, because now I want to really start talking about placing stops, money management, and things like that. Okay, so let's just say I'm going to take I hope you're okay. Now, I hope, Wonder 12, that you're practicing and you're not using real money yet, okay? When you're trading the AI, if you're in auto mode. Can't emphasize it enough. Okay, good. I know people want to turn the AI on every morning, put it in auto mode, and then count their money at the end of the day. I wish I could say that. Today, fine. If you could have got the MORF. But, how we recommend using the AI, we definitely recommend managing the exits on your own. Just trying to find something that might make a little sense to take. Yeah, so Fred, okay, I'll go back. Fred asked a question. This is in YouTube room. Like, my symbols are very dark. You have no control over that, okay? They did that for me, just so that you guys, it would look a lot better for you guys when I'm sharing my screen. You have no control over that. I wish that we would, we've got to start making our charts a little better, in my opinion. Things like that. Should be some standard options. So you want to send an info@trade-ideas.com. Coming from our customers, way more powerful than coming from me. I want to be able to do the same thing Barry does, making the symbols more bold if you want. And changing the chart symbol is just left click on the chart so the Trade Ideas knows that's the chart you're in, and then just start to type. And if you start to type, this box should appear, the change symbol box, and you just click change, or you could hit enter on your keyboard. All right, I'm just trying to find something to take right now. You know what? I'm just going to take AMTX. I just want to show you what I'm talking about, okay? Would I take it right now? Not necessarily, but I just want to show you what I'm talking about, placing stops and money management. I mean, this is obviously pretty whippy. Right now, it's already at 54%. But I just want to show you. So let's just take, what's the spread like? Spread is, no, it just dripped. It just dropped. It's a little too whippy. I'm trying to find something that's a little more reasonable. There's just some wild action. All right, now, again, would I take this one? Probably not, because there's the 720. I just want to show you how you can do this, okay? Let's just take 300 shares. The spread is 2 cents, so I'm going to buy 300 shares at the market, ITI. All right, I got it in at 706. It's not even bad. I'm going to put a stop at 686, 20 cents away. Probably wouldn't be the worst stop in the world. You know, you look at this, you look at the chart right there. Looks like there's some support on the 2-minute chart, okay? At that level. Notice there's my stop. It appeared in red. So if I just allowed this to work in auto fashion and the price went down to 686, it would take me out for a $58 loss, okay? So understand that unfortunately, not every trade you get into is going to work. You have to have a price where you're going to get out of the trade. And that requires putting, having a stop. So the question now is, well, how do I know where to put the stop? Well, that's going to come with, chart reading experience. That's why, trading is not easy. That's why we, really recommend using our simulator first before you trade your real account. And where I put this stop right here, I'm looking at the 2-minute chart. Looks like there's maybe some support in this area. So if it broke down through that support, I should be out of the trade. Okay? But that's only going to come with experience, being able to, look at charts, look at different time frames, and try to figure out. It's not scientific. I mean, just because I'm saying this could be a support area, this doesn't mean that it's absolutely going to hold, okay? But I do know this. If it dips down below that, I should be out of the trade. So that's why I put my stop there. So that's the first concept, putting a stop in. Second idea is, okay, great, I understand that concept, but very important now, how much are you going to risk per trade? If you have a $5,000 account, you are not going to risk $1,000 a trade. Hopefully that makes sense. Let's just say your account size dictates that, okay, I can risk $100 a trade. What do I mean by that? It means if it hits my stop, I don't want to lose more than $100. So when you get into a trade, the price you get into, you have to know where your stop is. This is all, you have to know this ahead of time. It's not get into the trade and then figure out what the stop is. The reason why is because that will dictate how many shares you take. Again, don't get into the idea or a habit of saying, well, I'm just going to take 500 shares a trade, 100 shares a trade. The number of shares you trade should be based on your stop and how much you're prepared to lose, maximum you're prepared to lose on the trade. So this worked out nicely in terms of making the math easy. I'm in at 706. I've got 686 as my stop. That's 20 cents away. So how many shares could I have taken? Well, if I divide 20 cents into $100, if that's what I'm willing to lose, maximum, I could take 500 shares. 500 shares times 20 cents if I get stopped out equals $100. Okay? So get used to the idea that, not every trade is going to work. You cannot get stubborn. Well, listen, I'm going to tell you right now, you will get stubborn. Because this is what's going to happen. Even though you've listened to me and you understand the concept of having a stop, and that'll share size you also, what happens is, and this is why practice first. What will happen is that if this starts working against you, you start second guessing yourself about where you put your stop. You start thinking, well, maybe that stop, maybe I don't understand exactly where to put that stop. Maybe I should have put it lower. So you start moving your stop down, okay? Moving it down as it keeps approaching that stop price. So it's now, instead of that $100 loss that you had planned on, a manageable loss, it's now $200. Now it's $300. Now it's $400, okay? On and on and on. And then finally, you can't take it anymore and you get out of the trade, and it can ruin your day, especially if it's the first trade of the day, but any time during the day. It's just not a great feeling. So this is why this takes all of the emotion out of trading. You leave that stop in here, you get stopped out, so be it. Okay, it takes all the emotion out of trading. Now, I guarantee the first few times you do this, you'll second guess yourself. Or even worse, you get stopped out and then it pops up immediately, and you say, see, I knew that stop was too close. You allowed yourself to be taken out of the trade, and then it pops up and starts to rip. Okay? It can happen. Now, the other thing, somebody asked about a target. If you want, you can put a target. So if I wanted to put a target, put a target at 750. I can add a target order. I can put 750 if I want. I don't put targets, but again, I know some people want to put targets. And unfortunately, so I'm going to put a target that we can actually, it should be showing up. Just a second. On this monthly chart, did I put the target wrong? Yeah, see, I put 75.50. That's not going to happen, so I'm going to cancel that. Okay, let's do this right now. I'll put a target, add the target over 750, not 75.50, 7.50. Now you'll see it will appear on the chart. Come on. Oh, right here. I'm sorry. It's right there. So there it is. So if I get taken out, if I allow this just to run auto fashion, it'll take me out. Oh, and what happened is I deleted the stop. So let me add that stop back in. I accidentally deleted the stop. And you know what? I mean, I put a 686. I'm going to put 680. I think I'm going to get stopped out. I want to show you how that works. Okay, so if I allow this to go down to 680, it's going to stop me out. If it goes up to 750 and I just allow it to happen, it'll take me out for a 133 gain. Now these lines are movable. So for instance, let's just say the trade really starts working well. Well, I could start using this line right there, that red line, the stop line. I could start moving it up, only moving it up if the trade starts working well. And maybe there's another area on the chart where there's looks like there's support. So if it broke down, that's where I should get out. So you can use this almost like a trailing stop. The other thing is that if it started to approach 750 and I still like the way it was trading, there's no reason at all why I have to allow it to take me out there. It's just, that was just I'll call it a guide. So I could start moving this line up also. All right, so So it's very, very flexible. And I can't emphasize enough. Practice trading. I don't understand that question, Ogun. Can I put the... I'm going to say no. I mean, this is how it'll appear on the chart. Now, guys, you can see right there, obviously, I mean, if I were truly in this at 1551, okay, I'd be having to watch this. I would never allow, I mean, if I'm paying attention, I would never allow it to turn into this big a loss, okay, the AMTX. All right, the dreamer. Yeah, good luck. I've got nothing to do with the process, I'm going to make the announcement again. We've had just a tremendous year at Trade Ideas, and we need more support people. Now, the type of support people that we're looking for, typically probably at least 3 years of experience using Trade Ideas. If you have some experience using Brokerage Plus, that'll also help. And if that is you, then if you send, I'm using it as a guideline, 2 years, 3 years. Andy will ask you a lot of questions. Listen, if you're a whiz kid after 1 month, we're probably, it's not like this is not like a typical job interview where absolutely 3 years and otherwise don't bother. But we're really looking for a couple of more support people. We found 2 support people from the trading room already, the 2 Chris's. So that's why they've asked me to again put out the call for a couple of more support people. And just let me. And if you are interested, I'm just going to put it right here. So there's the email, andy@trade-ideas.com. All right. So listen, if you're an active trader, don't bother, okay? Seriously, if you're an active trader staring at the screen all day long, you want to day trade all day long, this is not the job for you, because I think both of the Chris's were more swing trading. You can still trade, don't get me wrong. You can still trade, all right? But the job is support. You get a lot of questions coming in all day long. A lot of times you'll get into a screen sharing mode with somebody. You'll go into somebody's system and take a look. So make sure, if you're an active trader, this would not be the job for you. It's tech support, but not developmental tech support. A lot of the questions come in like, how do I like this type of a scan. Why, I've got a scan and these stocks aren't showing up. How come? So we take a look at the scans. You can do the collaboration and all of that. Okay? But it'll be more explained. If you are interested, definitely Andy at trade-ideas.com. Oh, thank you. I would call it customer technical support. Yes, it's. There are some minor accounting things, but I would say it's mainly customer, and especially if you have a good knowledge of Brokerage Plus, that will definitely help too. So here, okay, guys, take a look at this, all right? This is why I don't recommend using this in auto mode. I mean, look at this. There was the entry. Now, listen, I get it. This would have been a tough one because of the spread. But just the concept being this. There's the entry for MORF, 4650. Look where the AI got out because of what I call, it's a target. Now, if you got out exactly when the AI got out, look how much money you're leaving on the table, okay? That's why I don't care about targets. You know, if it's still working, why would you get out? Right? I mean, it's getting out at 40 from 4650 to 4088, which is still, you know, really good normally, but look how much you're leaving on the table, you know, when it's at 76.46 right now. That's why we definitely recommend managing the exits on your own. All right, guys, 11:12. So it's been, again, another great morning. The only thing I'm surprised at is the number of alerts I'm getting from my options. I would have thought maybe with the market doing what it's doing, get a few more here, but you know, it is what it is. Now remember what I was saying, just because we get an alert. Remember what I was saying earlier about this ESGC. I didn't like it at all because of, you know, all this resistance. So, you know, just because you get an alert here doesn't mean, okay, just pile into it. And the AMTX is kind of the same thing because, you know, it was so extended. The reason why we didn't get the alert earlier is because it wasn't trading very many options at the beginning of the day. It really picked up. So again, you have to, just because you get an alert here doesn't mean you just pile. I still love this, okay? But each alert has to be looked at, you know, on how much room it might have. Ah, the web. Yeah. Okay, well, first of all, Ramin, if you have, you shouldn't be using the web-based version if you can have the app. Okay, the app is way more robust and more feature rich than is the web-based version. So this is what I would do. So this is for a lot of people who have either multiple monitors, or what you want to be able to do, of course, is when you load trade ideas, you want to see your windows exactly, all your trade ideas windows exactly where they are when you exit. You don't have to every day fiddling around with sizing them, etc., etc., okay? So, if you have multiple monitors, I would really listen to what I'm saying. So I have 3 monitors. So what I do is this. So this is, you know, for Ramin, I think this will help. If you take your toolbar, even if you just have the one monitor, you put your toolbar, put it in the upper left-hand corner, okay, of what you'll designate as your main monitor. Arrange the windows exactly the way you want them. on your main monitor. And if you have other monitors, you know, I've got, here's my spider sector list, you know, and I have some other windows on my other monitors. Put them exactly where you want them. Next step, click on Tools and Options. This is from the toolbar. Click on Tools, Options, and then where it says Layouts, click on Layouts, and then check Open Relative to Main Window and Save. And then when you exit Trade Ideas, you know, and always save your layout. You can save your layout to your computer. Also save your layout to the cloud, okay? Just get into the habit of doing that. And then I'm not going to click on exit because it'll ruin my link. When you click on exit, it'll also ask, do you want to save your layout? Just say yes. And then when you come back to Trade Ideas, you know, let's say you do this at the end of the day and then you load Trade Ideas tomorrow. And it's always a good idea. Exit Trade Ideas. Always a good idea to, when you know, not just a good idea, you have to close Trade Ideas down every night because it has to allow the AI to get reset again, okay? So close Trade Ideas down every night. And then when you load Trade Ideas again, all your windows will be exactly where you want them, okay? I only have, well, the difference is that I think what I did was I changed it to 400 instead of 500. That's the only difference, okay? You don't have to. I think the one in the scans that I'm sharing says 500. But remember, guys, these are templates. I mean, you can change them as you see fit. But that's maybe why. Now, I think a change was made. Let's see. All right, guys. So, due to popular demand, I actually am sharing my layout. So what you see on the screen is my layout. So there it says Barry's layout, okay? Right there, right at the top. Other windows are here. Other ones that you might want are all here, but I'm sharing my layout now, okay? And the layout that you see is this on the screen, okay? All right, guys, so I am watching that one from the AI, the one that starts with the letter C. I closed the layout toolbar that shows up vertically on the left. Are you talking about the channel bar? You talking about this? You talking about this? Okay, yeah, just go, okay, so click on New from our toolbar up here, click on New and then Channel Bar. Now remember, now everything in here is a layout. So and the channels all are different themes. Okay, they're just different themes. You can take a look at them, but remember, they're all layouts. So if you have a layout that you're currently using, make sure you do save it to the cloud, because you can only have one layout loaded at a time. So remember, you put your toolbar in the top left-hand corner. Okay, put your toolbar in the top left-hand corner of what you'll designate as your main layout, or your window that you want to be the main window. Just put it in the top left-hand corner, and then start the process of putting all your Trade Ideas windows exactly where you want them on your main window or on your main monitor, plus the other monitors if you have them. Okay? Yeah, that's a big wow, guys. That is a big, 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 big wow. I mean, it did get up to 82 before it dropped. Yeah, I guess they got dried up. Okay, guys, I'm just going to do something here because, again, I was not paying attention to my simulator. And so try to pay a little more attention to it now. Yeah, but who cares, JB, right? Who cares? That's not my target. I don't have a target. And why that is, I don't know. I mean, it's a strategy, of course, that it got optimized from. All right, guys. Oh, I have no idea why so many options. No idea. I don't analyze it that closely. All I know is I didn't like it. I just didn't like the chart at all. I don't see any specific news on it. I'm talking about ESGC. I know they, on the 25th, they announced some preliminary headline results. I guess preliminary, so March 31st in theory is when they'll release earnings, etc. You know, I find it interesting that even though the market is just in absolute rip mode, there are not a lot of stocks that are making new highs. I would have thought it would have been full. course, what could have happened is that a lot of these stocks, just gapped up immediately, and now they're, just kind of doing something like this. And again, I won't see anything in these windows until a stock makes another new high. How does Rocket look now? Let's take a look at Rocket Mortgage or Rocket Companies. I don't really see anything. I mean, the high was 24.56. All right, guys, I'll be right back. What time is it? 11:26. Give me about 4 minutes, 3 or 4 minutes. I'll be right back. All right, guys, I'm back. And let's see what's happening here. How's that Vuzi doing? Yeah, a little bit choppy, but remember so the trade of the week is VUZI. The suggested entry was around 20. So you had an opportunity to get into the trade if you wanted to. All right, just kind of looking at some of these ones that appeared here, see how they've moved from the original alert. So this one has been pretty good from the AI. I don't mind talking about it now. I mean, look at here's the short at 32.55, and now down to 30.22. So there's right now a 7% move, and pretty. I mean, on the 15-minute chart, not bad. On the 5-minute chart, not bad. All right, FSR, you're making me look. All right, guys, I have to change my headset again. Just a minute. All right, guys, I'm now back again. So today is Monday. So at noon, it's 11:32 right now, Eastern time, of course. At noon, I'll be taking my break, and in the YouTube room today will be Sean from 12 to 1. He'll take over. So if you Now, Trade Ideas does not trade options. We don't scan for options, all right? But I know there are some option traders in the room. So this is what we can do. And the reason I'm bringing up options now is because Sean does trade options a lot. And these are our option filters. Okay, so we have some obvious ones. We have the put-call ratio, options volume, which is the average over the last 10 days, number of contracts over the last 10 days. This is the option volume today, the put and call volume today. And this is the key metric right there, the key filter. Option volume today %. So what that means is, if I say put 200%, double, okay, as a ratio to percentage 200%. So what that means is if a stock over the last, say 10 days has averaged 2,000 contracts a day, for me to see that stock today, it'll have to trade 4,000 contracts. In other words, double. Okay, so what this is doing, it's showing you stocks that are having abnormal option activity. Now, if that helps you trade the option, great. And so this is what this one is doing. It's unusually strong options. I've got 400% in here, minimum 2,000 contracts, okay? Now, today, as I tried to explain, I didn't really like any of them. I mean, this one maybe later on, ATNX, because when you get the alert, you have to look at the chart. I mean, it just because we get the alert doesn't mean you take the trade. I didn't love this ATNX because it was down so much. Now, so if it, down, I don't know, an hour or 2 hours from now, some time today. If it can get back up here, maybe, up here meaning that actually about 615, because, maybe it's going to be in sort of a bounce mode. But it had really bad news, and that's why it got hit down. I didn't like this one at all, ESGC, because of all the resistance on the daily chart. I can't control what alerts I'm going to get ahead of time, of course. And then this one, it's just way too extended. By the time we got this alert, it was just way, way too extended. So now, later on, who knows? Maybe it'll get back up there, and that might turn into a good trade. But, I didn't like any one of those today. But it's been really a solid producer. But a solid producer, you have to analyze, where you're getting an alert and where there could be some resistance. So, it doesn't mean just because we get an alert, you have to take the trade. Yes, Isaac, so that's exactly what you can do, okay? That's exactly what you can do. The question from Isaac was, is there a way to take different elements from different channels and make them into a custom layout? For example, put a scanner from pre-market and a scanner from volume into a new layout channel. Okay, so yes. Now, before I do that, I'm going to show you how you can do that. That's a great question. Just give me a moment here. I just have to make sure. Well, that CAE is just a no-go. It's just a no-go. Well, maybe the target was good. In this particular case, the target was good. Okay, so just give me a moment here. All right, I think I am okay. Okay, so the question again was, can I take individual scans from, say, the channel bar and combine some of them and create my own layout? So if you look at the channel bar, these are all themes. We've got a China channel, so if China was going crazy today, we have a China channel. Trade the gap, these are gaps, swing ideas, momentum. That's that's a common, that's one that a lot of people like, stock surging. But let me just take a look at momentum. I know it. I was going to miss out on one. Give me a moment here. Okay. So let's just say, for instance, you like this channel that we call Momo, okay? Or channel, sorry, not channel, but this scan that we call Momo. And you took a look at it. You looked to see how it was configured. So, okay, here's my price. Okay, kind of like the idea of this. If you wanted to make a change, maybe you didn't like that particular price range. Maybe you wanted between 10 and 50. Notice when I click OK, notice how it's changed now. It was 1 and 50, now it's 10 and 50. Okay, you can make changes if you want the minimum volume to be higher, etc., etc. Okay, so, or you could just leave it as it is. Now you say OK, and now save it to the cloud. Right click, save or share to cloud. Save. Okay, so now you've saved that one to the cloud. I could go to another channel. I could go to another channel. I'll go to the volume channel. Volume, insane volume. All right. So you could take a look at this. Again, look at the configures, see what it's looking at. 2 and 500. You may want to reduce that range. Okay. But it's looking for insane volume. So if you like that one, again, you right click, save or share to cloud. Save it. So you can see the idea here is that you can go to the different channels and extract a window that you might think that you might like. Let me just do something here. Okay. So then you could go Windows, close all your windows, okay? You've never created a layout before. You close all your windows, so now you would have a blank screen just with the toolbar. Now what you can do is File, Load from Cloud. You see I've got these two. I've got them right here. Right click, load it. I'll load it on my other window, my other monitor, and just keep loading all the previous scans that you saved from different from the different channels. And that's how you can create your own layout. Once you've done that, File, Save or Share to Cloud, click on Entire and give it a name and save it. Now you've got a saved layout into the cloud. Okay, Isaac, did that make sense? And anybody else? That's one of the uses of the channel bar. We create all those channels, all those theme channels, so you don't have to know how we created them. You don't have to know how to create an alert window or top list window. We've done it all for you. And it's a great way to start. And of course, I'm sharing a lot of my scans right here. I'm sharing a lot of my scans right here. Okay, including now my layout. And all the scans I'm sharing are right here. Because, some people don't want my entire layout. What they want is to extract a couple from my scans that I'm sharing, add them to their layout. Well, yeah, I know what you're actually saying. A gap down day can produce, I would have seen a lot more in here, I'm sure, because what happens on a gap down day, and then if the market starts to recover, then a lot of the stocks start making new highs for the day. And just not getting too many. It's like the gap up, and that was it. Well, Vicky, now's your chance. Andy at trade-ideas.com. Okay. Now's your chance. You've been clamoring for it for years. But remember, it's a full-time job. So if you're full-time trading, it's not going to be good for you. So again, I'm putting this out here again. So before I go on my break, we are looking for probably a couple of support people. Good knowledge of trade ideas. We say a minimum of 3 years experience, but if you've got two and you're show that you really know the program inside and out, then that doesn't matter, of course. But probably 3 years experience and also a good knowledge of Brokerage Plus. And if that's you, you can send a resume, or not a resume, just contact Andy at trade-ideas.com. If you're interested. and we had 2 people from the trading room we hired. Yeah, Randy, you'll have to. I don't know, officially. I mean, most of the guys are there around 9 o'clock, and then to 4:30. Yes, but you'll see. Like I don't have any end time. I mean, I'm answering emails left and right all day long. But I mean, officially. But listen, contact Andy, and he'll interview you. I have no idea how much it pays. All right, one more kick at this, maybe. Yeah, that's pretty brutal what it did down here at CAE. Hello, Joey, from the YouTube room. So again, guys, I'll be taking off in probably about 10 minutes. Sean will be in the room. Just want to make sure. Yeah, WKHS, I have to admit, it is responding not badly now. I mean, but look at this on the 15-minute chart. Look at all these bottoming tails. I mean, the sellers trying to knock it down. Buyers kept at it, kept at it, kept at it, and now look. And this is actually an earnings play today. Not that I think that that's such a big deal. All eyes really on this one to see if they can. Here we go. So yeah, so workouts to meet USPS to discuss unfavorable contract decision. So I mean, I guess they're trying to. I mean, obviously it wasn't official before, but they thought they had a $6 billion contract with USPS, and all of a sudden USPS says nope, we're awarding it to OSK, and look what happened to OSK. All right, guys, CAE. Maybe now. Yeah, there's no crash course on variables. No, Joey. I mean, you could go to like Investopedia or something like that. We don't actually teach trading, in this room. We try to teach people how to use our program, scans, and I'm sharing a lot of scans and all. But in terms of, teaching trading, what to look for, candlesticks, etc., that's going to just come with some experience. I think that you might want to take a look, reading candlestick charts, things like that. Just do a search in the internet. That'll get you started. No such thing as a crash course, okay? Trading is not easy. You know, don't want to just be, you know, Trade Ideas is a great program. It's a tool. All right, well, for you GME followers, you know what's happening right here. Now, I'll bet you KOSS, KOSS, is also on the move. I guess, absolutely, this is on the move also, as is AMC. Interesting, I saw CNK had a downgrade this morning. CNK, let's take a look at CNK. What is it doing? So much for the downgrade. I did see it had a downgrade this morning. Okay, so this one, wow, I mean, this is maybe interesting. Well, a lot happening now. So Andrew, I don't know if the question is this. I mean, these are all real-time alerts, okay? So when I get an alert in an alert window and I click on the symbol, all right, this is the chart is a real-time alert. All right, well, the chart, every time I click on a symbol, that is real time. The chart will refresh in about 8 seconds, okay? Now you might say, well, that's terrible. And so did I. I thought it was terrible. You know, when we introduced charts a few years ago, I said, well, you know, I'm an intraday trader. How can I not have, you know, classically real-time charts? So, I don't know, a number of you heard me say this. I think I had eSignal at the time. I put my eSignal charts right next, you know, I would put one right next to it, to my Trade Ideas charts. And I found that in 99% of the time, it made no difference at all. Mainly because when I get an alert, I'm not staring at the chart right now. Okay, what I'm doing is, you know, because, well, I'm taking a look at the chart. I'm looking at the higher time frames, which really doesn't matter that much in terms of, you know, whether it's up a penny or two. Now, I'm looking at the higher time frames to see whether or not there is some room. And then I'm looking at my order entry. So it's not like I'm staring at these intraday charts. It really doesn't matter, to me anyway. Well, again, guys, you know, you're on your own trading GameStop, AMC, any of these ones that are part of that Wall Street bets. Will I trade it? Possibly. But I certainly can't give any sort of a recommendation whatsoever. And then there's BlackBerry. What is BlackBerry doing? Yeah, even BlackBerry. So they're all kind of look at the volume that came into BlackBerry. BB. Well, that may be true, Vicky, but you know, I'm sure there's got to be a lot of chatter. I mean, of course. I mean, you've been following. Oh, I know you have been following the whole saga. Okay, so Sean, it is Sean today. All right, guys, I'm just going to get my announcement up. He usually shows up a couple of minutes before noon. And I'm going to put the YouTube link in. So if you want to head over there while I'm on my break. And sorry, I'm going to put the YouTube link in. So again, if you want to head over there while I'm on my break, this is the link. So obviously, before I go, an excellent day for the AI. I mean, you know, this is a star, still up 64%, but you know, these are not shabby. I mean, you know, 7.5%, 5%, 3%. No update. I think TDA is going to be a long time. I was asked for an update when Brokerage Plus will be available using TDA. I think it's going to be a while. A real problem with their API. So I wouldn't hold your breath. E-Trade will probably be, well, I almost guarantee E-Trade will be sooner than TDA. The data IB option, you need real-time data, okay? I know there's a lot of options. I'm gonna have to write it down. JB knows the actual name of it. They changed their names. I think it's like $10 or something like that. Basically, you need real-time data and then pick the exchanges. The US Equity Data Package, there you go. All right, guys, so I'm just waiting for Sean to show up, and then I'll be taking my break. Okay, so there are shorts available for GME at Interactive Brokers right now. That could dry up soon. All right, Sean, I see you there. Okay, I'm going to stop my stream now, Sean, so have fun for the hour.